I continue to search and search and search for the third party Rumble Pack slash memory card that I had two of for the heyday of the Nintendo 64 in the household. Unfortunately, that heyday passed. Everything got kind of thrown in a drawer. And by the time it came back out of the drawer, I was like, yeah, I'm going to start doing stuff with it again. The evil shadow of corrosion had destroyed both of them, which was such a bummer because it was a Rumble Pack and then you had a little switch so you could memory card one, memory card two. So you had just it was just tons of goodness all wrapped up in one. And I continue to search, try and find it so I can show a picture of it. Can't find it. It was a third party one. But speaking of Rumble Packs, so we're going to talk about tonight video. There will be a link in the description to go through a discussion of the Nintendo 64 Rumble Pack and what he depicts as a simple hack to move your Rumble Pack from being battery powered to having the Nintendo. And we've seen this on a couple other videos as well. But so, as a Nintendo 64 owner, um, do you have any Rumble Packs yet? Have you been mostly focused on memory cards, or where are you at on that?
I've recently acquired two Rumble Packs.
And these are the battery powered, non
Correct. Yeah,
hacked
the big,
Rumble Packs.
yeah, the big adds 5 pounds of weight to the controller,
Yep.
battery powered Rumble Packs.
Yeah, it they were not light. And the Nintendo official Rumble Pack used AAA batteries, which are a little lighter than two AA batteries, which my third party one that apparently doesn't exist according to the internet, no matter how hard I search for it.
Well, so this video does mention those.
Yeah, it does. I want my
Yeah,
brand. I want to find the one I had.
yeah. He
Um,
doesn't say what brand, but he says there was a third party that included the memory card as well.
yeah. So those were good there, but this those added a little bit of weight too. So yeah, I mean, in I think he tried to pass it off a little bit as well. It kind of gives you kind of a heftier feel, a little more, adds to it. It's like, nah, it just gets real heavy. I don't know. Where PlayStation when they came and put the kind of dual rumbles in the kind of the arms of the controller, super smart, great way to deliver the haptic stuff, and it made things feel a little beefier, but like in a good way. And so that was interesting there. But then we get to so he talked about that a little history. He did mention some third party ones out there, and I go, I know there was one, I just can't find it. Um, but then he said, so I was wondering, batteries, they're a pain, and they're AAA, and blah blah blah. And so I wonder if I can have the Nintendo power it. And so he did, as several other videos have shown, what he depicts as a simple way to address it, which might be simple for him, but has been clearly established on this show. We are a no soldering show. That's when I was like, I'm out. I'm kind
This
of
is
assuming
this
same
is
for you.
strictly a solder-free environment.
Yeah, no solder in this town. So, but if you are, you know, a better person than Mike and I, and are not anti-solder, soldering gunists. Didn't look too bad. It's a moving one resistor, which was just like magic to me to go. So that's it. That's all you need to do. And it was moving it kind of off the battery portion of the card over to the PCB for the controller itself. And he goes, "Yeah, you just take it from here and you put it on these two dots over here, and away you go." And for one controller, seemed to do just fine. He said it was basically the same strength. Um, if you became soldering curious, Mike, do you think this is something you might try?
So probably not, only because the Nintendo 64 is getting up there in age now. I already had a system go on me. I don't know if I want to, Frankenstein experiment with any of these pieces if they become harder to acquire in the coming years, because I'm hoping there's two Nintendo 64s in my house now. The modded one, which Kelly also has, and then an OG system. I like having two of them because my wife and I are both big Nintendo 64 players now. So, you know, it's at risk at all times. It gets a workout. I don't know if I'd want to mess around with stuff that I might not be able to replace someday in the near future, personally. Plus, two, he does posit the theory that, at least in part, why Nintendo probably didn't do this is because it would be too taxing on the system itself when you get into 3 and 4 players on the more party multiplayer kind of games.
Which is where the 64 shines. I mean, that's,
Yeah.
like the best use case for Nintendo 64 is 4 players. Tag team wrestling match. You can get angry at your partner if they're letting you down, and that type of thing. But it was and we'll probably have a show on it down the road, so you should like and subscribe to the channel to come back to it. Uh, Mike has recently picked up a book related to wrestling games for the Nintendo 64. And
Yes.
there are a bevy of them, and a couple of them are pretty great. And many of them support tag team action to where you want to have your 4 controllers going and have a really fun time. So, spoiler alert on a future show probably. But yeah, I could see where that'd be a problem where it's just, does the drag on the system, and I think your concern's well placed to say how much do I want to push this experienced hardware to to go forward. But yeah, and then it was, he then offered some theories around, well, maybe, they they should have done this at least with the controllers at stores where you could walk up and play it or something like that. I don't know about that. But because then you never have to change batteries out. But I mean, I think it would be pretty cool. I also think how much, I think your risk reward's a fair question to go in. And it's not, just remember to take those batteries out, folks, because speaking from personal experience, corrosion is bad. I actually lost a Quest controller uh, due to corrosion
Oh,
on one of the batteries, which really sucks because you don't buy those separate. You can't go buy. Oh, I just want a right-handed one for the VR system. Um, it doesn't happen. It ultimately becomes into buy 2 new controllers. You might as well just buy a new system, which I may have done to continue to play my Star Wars pinball and such. So that's the way it goes. I take my
yeah.
batteries
I've
out.
actually started considering between the Rumble packs now and having a Game Boy so that I can play Slapdash on original hardware. You guys should play Slapdash too. It's free. Go to the website, download that. But being able to play that on original hardware, I suddenly have a lot of devices that are using batteries again. I need to start looking into the old school method of the rechargeable battery docks and things like that.
Yeah, that's yeah, there were several of those around the house for a while too, for very much that reason to kind of keep the stuff going. So cool. So if you folks have any Rumble Pack history, or if you had a Rumble Pack that came in yellow and blue and green and it had a little 2 switches, one on either side to switch it over from Rumble to memory, and then another switch for memory 1, memory 2. If you had one of those, take a picture of it, send it to me so that I can show it. I miss it. I was so sad that it went south on me, but it's the way it goes. Take care of your equipment, folks.
Bog Panda.